I've been pretty sad lately, and I don't normally express that emotion. I've been watching more and more car manufacturers drop the manual option from their entire lineup, with a dwindling selection and automatic options that change gears in milliseconds. Why would you even want to still own the manual transmission car in 2020 and beyond? Well, here are 10 reasons why. Number 1, debatably, it's a lot safer. You're engaged with the car, you feel connected, you use both your hands and both of your feet to operate the vehicle, not just one of each. There's a lot less time to pick up your phone or even zone out. It does require practice to get to that point, but once you're done, you feel like a drummer playing his instrument. Number 2, you have a lot more control over your vehicle. When it's raining or snowing, you have the option of starting in second gear. You can ease off the clutch to prevent any unnecessary jerking in those conditions that might cause a spin out. When you need high revs, you can downshift and keep it at that stage for as long as you like, or until the engine blows. Whatever the case may be, you're in control of the car, not the computer. Number 3, this should be the number 1 reason, honestly. It's just a lot more fun to drive. I had an automatic 550i for a very brief period of time. I used to love to drive around before with my other manual transmission cars like the 3000 GT. After I bought the 550i, it was used to go back and forth to work primarily. My wife finally told me, we never just go out for a drive anymore. I found you the manual Corvette that you always wanted. Go trade this in and start enjoying cars again. That same day, I got the C6 and drove it enthusiastically every day until I decided to retire it. It's still in my small collection. I've never owned another automatic vehicle since. I hope that I'm making you a car guy or gal if you're not already. So number 4 can be split into 2 sections. I fall under the first category. You won't feel bored in bumper-to-bumper traffic. I love the fact that when I'm stuck in traffic, I have something to play with. There have been times where I drove 2 to 3 miles on nothing but the clutch. You try to gauge the traffic in front of you and behind you to use the clutch without the gas or the brake. You practice driving, which is what I think a lot of us don't do enough. Part 2 falls under people that like manual cars but hate them in traffic. You'll be more responsive. You'll plan your routes around traffic. Either option will bring a lot less stress into your life. Number 5, it's a lot harder to steal. More and more people don't know how to drive manual cars. If you Google it right now, you'll find a few articles that state that only 18% of Americans can drive a manual car. I don't know where they live because I'm surrounded by people that don't. I know that my dad can drive manual, one of my friends, and my cousin, and that's it. Maybe the others are just good at hiding it, who knows? But you would think that those stats would translate to petty criminals that aren't your professional carjackers, if that even makes any sense. Most people will be deterred from even attempting to steal it if they see that manual transmission. Number 6, it's a conversation starter. I don't think there's ever been a time when someone new stepped inside the car that hasn't said, "You drive a manual? How does that feel?" Sometimes the conversation would revolve completely around the manual gearbox. I think that most people that don't drive a manual car secretly wish they did, but it's a process to learn, so quite a few people just don't. Those that do can feel more important because they are. Number 7, you'll have that personal connection. Most non-car people don't understand the kind of connection that we're talking about, so I just never even bothered explaining it, but I'm gonna try now. When you start releasing the clutch, you can feel the exact moment when the clutch catches. Sometimes it's microseconds of precision. Release for any longer without applying the throttle and you'll stall the car. Apply too much gas too fast and you'll start burning the clutch. My favorite part about driving a manual car that doesn't have hill assist is when someone's sitting next to me and I come to a complete stop on a steep hill. I can see them start checking the rearview mirror automatically, trying to gauge how close the car behind us just got. In their heads, the same message is playing over and over again. He's gonna roll back. He's gonna hit that car. Then the light turns green and they automatically look at the handbrake. We're definitely gonna hit that car. He's not even using the handbrake. Then I just drive off and you can feel the tension just release from their body. Most of the time they'll say, "I can't believe you just drove off without rolling back at all. You smirk and you feel great about yourself. What they don't know is that you feel connected to your car. You know how far you have to release the clutch to catch just enough so when you release the brake, the car doesn't start to roll back. You can feel any micro vibrations that shouldn't be there, and you catch problems earlier on. Even your other senses heighten. You start to smell any weird odors that might arise. I guess the next closest thing that I can describe it to is a DSLR camera. You can put it in automatic and the camera will shoot it for you, but it's only when you put it in manual that you develop a connection to your camera. Number 8. I don't like excessive amounts of technology in my car. It seems that the more technology there is, the higher the chance of something breaking is, and the higher the cost it will be to fix it. With the manual vehicles, you're in control, not the computer. Number 9, you can drive anything. I know that this isn't a big deal to most people, but I love knowing the fact that I can drive almost anything. Sure, there are a few quirks here and there, but you get adjusted really quickly. I bought a ZX6R bike, never rode a motorcycle in my life, but I understood what you needed to do. I sat on it, released the clutch a couple of times, moved through the gears a couple of times, and rode off. Never once did I think about shifting or it being difficult. And finally, number 10, you just feel great about yourself. After some time passes, you want to learn everything about driving manual. All of a sudden you start attempting to rev match and you realize that that's on another level. When you finally train your mind and your body to synchronize and be in rhythm, you feel accomplished. For those of you that don't know what rev matching is, it's when you're trying to reduce gears, go from 4th to 3rd, for example. You know that at the current speed in 3rd gear, the RPM will be much higher, so you tap on the accelerator right after you press the clutch to bring it to that rev range. Downshift and release the clutch. If executed correctly, the car should not jerk whatsoever and you will be at the correct RPM range. For even more fun, and this does take some skill, you'll be on the brake and you'll shift your right foot to press on both the brake and bleep the throttle while downshifting. At one instance, you're pressing all 3 pedals, maintaining steering and shifting, and getting the correct RPM range with each downshift. Now that is a satisfying feeling. You then watch professional drivers and you realize that they're doing the exact same thing and you think to yourself, I'm a professional driver.